Good afternoon. Welcome back to Simply Uncensored. Today is March 6th of 2018. Today I'm joined, as always, with my good friend James. James, say hi.
How you doing, Collin?
I'm all right. I'm all right. And Tanner here's too. We got his mic going. Say what's up, Tanner.
What's going on, boys?
Well, today we got a few things in the mix. Our topics today were going to be aliens and ghosts.
Ooh.
Spooky stuff, if I must say.
Well, I don't necessarily believe in ghosts per se, so
That's actually how I wanted to start it off. I wanted to go around and say if you actually
Do you
believe in
believe-
the ghost.
I believe in aliens for sure. Ghosts are iffy for me. I don't know what to believe on that one.
Yeah. Tanner?
I believe in spirits.
What the fuck does that mean?
So, I guess if you consider that a ghost,
So you believe in ghosts.
then yes.
Is there a difference between ghosts and spirits?
I mean,
Yes.
yes, but at the same time, like an evil spirit could be a ghost, or a good spirit could be a ghost. I mean, if you consider them that, if you don't consider them that, then I don't believe in them at all, I guess.
So I guess we basically have to define what a ghost is.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
All right. Well, I'll start off by saying I definitely believe in aliens and ghosts. I'm pretty undecided on that actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of believe that they might exist, but any kind of communication with living beings is a whole kind of iffy side to it that I'm not sure I believe.
I absolutely do not believe that a person can contact someone who's dead, but I believe that I don't know. Sometimes I want to believe that when there's like a really traumatic event that happens in a certain place, there's just so much like energy that people just they just I don't know, they stick around or something. I don't know. It's really weird. It's paranormal.
Yeah, it kind of goes into the afterlife too, and I mean, everyone's got different views of the afterlife,
Hmm.
so it's possible. I guess anything in this world is possible, but that's an iffy one. I guess you'll never know until you have a first-hand experience of it,
Right, right.
which I have not. Actually, there's one time I was laying in bed, and I don't know what to make of it, but I was laying in bed, and it was the middle of the night, and I swear someone tapped me on my shoulder. Well, I was thinking, maybe it's my mom or something. This was when I was younger.
Yeah.
I figured maybe she came in my room and tapped me on the shoulder, wake me up. I don't know. Anyways, but I remember turning around and then just nothing there.
Hmm.
So that was a weird thing for me to feel. I guess if anything,
Made you feel weird.
yeah, if anything, people could say that it was paranormal.
Yeah.
Shit, maybe there was a ghost that came and tapped you on the shoulder. I don't know. On the other side, maybe my mind was just playing tricks on me. Maybe, my
Yeah.
mom did come in while I was sleeping and tap my shoulder, and my brain didn't recognize it until maybe like a half hour later when she was gone.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and no one was there. I don't know.
That's weird.
That
What
was
do
weird.
you think happened?
I don't know what happened.
What do you believe happened?
I just told you what I believe. It could be either one of those. It could have actually been some kind of paranormal ghost, or it could have been my mom coming in, tapping me on the shoulder. That's the only actual kind of experience I've had with any kind of paranormal activity.
Okay, so back to Tanner. Okay, so since you kind of dodged the first question, do you believe in
Definitely
ghosts?
dodged the first question. I'd say I believe in ghosts.
No. I brought up the definition. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
The definition of a ghost is an apparition of a dead person that is believed to appear or become manifest to the living, typically a nebulous image. So a ghost. The building is example. The building is haunted by the ghost of a monk.
No.
You don't believe in that term?
No.
So you don't believe that ghosts are dead people?
I don't know if I believe that either, because I think when people die, I'm more so convinced that when people die, that it's black. Your brain shuts off. You have no more thoughts. So I'm
think
not
you
sure.
still have a spirit. That's why I don't believe you would come back, like, to the living, showing yourself as the same person you were.
Yeah, that's
unless they
interesting.
already knew who you were.
Mm-hmm.
Then I guess maybe, I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an iffy subject. There's no scientific proof anywhere. There's no. I mean, people can say that they saw a ghost. They can say that shit happened, but there is no actual proof that ghosts exist. Now, if we're gonna talk other hand, aliens, there is so much proof that they actually exist.
Ooh, just rolling in aliens real quick.
Well, there's not a whole lot to talk about ghosts, but there's so much proof that aliens do actually exist.
You know, I agree. I think for sure there's aliens.
Okay, I need to bring something up about the aliens. What type of aliens are we actually talking about here? Are we talking about some sort of advanced aliens who are farther, they're farther down the line than humans in terms of
Talking
technology?
aliens like in the cartoons when you see an alien.
A little fucking green guy with two eyes sticking out of his head? Or a little gray guy?
Not that exactly, but
You're talking like Marvin the Martian?
yes, like Marvin the Martian's cool too. They may not look like that, but there's definitely like something.
There's actually been a lot of theories out there of what they look like. I've heard one, I think I saw it on YouTube or something, but one guy was talking about it, and he reportedly heard from some guy in Area 51 that there was good aliens and there was bad aliens. The good ones were like kind of human. They were, weren't too big. They kind of looked human in nature. And then the bad ones were like really tall and skinny and gray, kind of like a Slender Man type appearance. But in everything that I've read, they've all been kind of human in nature.
Yeah, humanoid.
Yeah, I mean they have eyes, nose,
Legs.
Two legs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not
two arms.
completely different. But who's to
Wait,
say
no,
that?
no 3 eyeballs? No.
No, they're two eyes, two big black eyes,
Oh my.
right?
Supposedly, I mean, who's to say that somewhere out there isn't, weird-looking aliens? I'm sure it's possible. This is a big, big world that we live in.
The universe is a very big world, or a very big place.
What the fuck are you laughing at?
The universe is not a world.
Well,
You know what I'm
could be.
talking about, though.
Okay, so I found a story about someone apparently possibly getting abducted. They're not really sure. So I'm going to give you the short version of that story. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, did they get probed?
I'm looking at it right now. I don't think so. They might have, though, because yeah, they might have.
I'm just curious.
Do you want to hear the story?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Of course I want to hear the story, fool.
All right, so this was posted on Reddit, so I mean, you can only trust it as far as it goes, as far as Reddit goes. But apparently, a group of people were hanging out on June the 5th. They were looking forward to one of their friends' birthday party, which was going to be on the 7th. And one day, when they're about to wake up for the 6th, they wake up and realize it's actually the 7th. So they had a total gap in memory that just completely I guess I erased the June 6th. So they had the party on June 6th. I'm reading this right now as we go. Yeah, they could never picture it out, and they kind of just shook it off, I guess. And then, yeah, they had no recollection of it. But over time, they started thinking less of the experience. But then, on New Year's Day that year, they had an unnerving dream that actually became reoccurring. In the dream, they were laying down, held back by restraints. A bright light was shining in their eyes. They could hear static that sounded like random words in different languages. For instance, the word Brian. Now these typically, they now typically have these dreams after emotionally trying days and plan to see a hypnotist soon.
Do do each one of them have this same reoccurring dream?
Apparently.
Every night.
No,
No, just when,
emotionally trying
Yeah.
days.
So when one of them has an emotionally trying day, they all have it, or just that person?
no, I don't think it's like that. I think they each have it on their own nights.
They have the same dream, just different days, yeah.
All right, let's say that then.
That is kind of strange.
That is kind of strange. I don't know. I don't want to believe it, but I'm like really skeptical about the story, but it's just...
Well, abducting is kind of... I don't know how I feel about aliens coming abducting people.
Really?
Yeah, that seems more far-fetched.
Maybe.
See, I have proof of that they exist, but not only do I have proof that they exist, I do have some former Area 51 scientist.
What's the name?
His name is Bushman.
Bushman.
Boyd Bushman. He was a former Area 51 scientist, and then right before he died, dying man, he's got nothing left to live. He's gonna spill out the beans. He's gonna start doing it. But he sat down with this guy Mark Q. Patterson. Basically, they talked about how he worked at Area 51. He actually shared pictures with Mark. I didn't look up the pictures, but apparently he shared pictures with Mark of these aliens. And then he goes as far as saying that they actually worked at Area 51.
Oh, really?
So not only were they, experimented on, but they actually had aliens that worked with them.
Worked with the humans.
He goes, most of the aliens that he encountered were quite friendly, but there were those that weren't. In fact, 19 people died defending themselves from aliens. He called the good ones wranglers and the bad ones rustlers. So I guess they do have names. That goes back from another video I saw that there are good and bad aliens. Supposedly they know where they live, like they know the planets and stuff too. But I guess if they're working with them, they have to know something.
Yeah.
And then they don't know English. They don't actually speak at all. They speak telepathically.
Oh, really?
Which is another interesting thought.
Man, I would think that anyone who has like super, far technology is going to be able to talk some sort of, telepathical or something.
I believe telepathy exists. I believe that as humans we haven't, I guess, mastered it. I feel like we might be capable of doing it.
Maybe.
Let's say the aliens do talk to you like that. Do you think they have telekinesis also?
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, I highly doubt it as well. That's like, you can't just move something without doing anything to it. It's just physics. But then again, if they can teleport through time, that goes against physics too. So, I don't know, maybe.
Well, time and space is a different thing.
No, they are very much related.
when traveling through space, you can go through a black hole, and that is traveling through time. And that is reportedly quite possible.
By definition, if you are traveling through space, you are traveling through time.
Yeah.
Just forward. The boring way.
Forward at a different rate of speed.
Yeah.
Which, if aliens can travel through space at an insane amount of speed, well, they can travel through time quite easily.
I'm sure you can do a lot of things if you could travel faster than the speed of light.
You could do anything.
Yeah, you really could. You could like stop time. For yourself at least. But that's getting out of that's kind of getting
that
on
is
a
a
tangent.
whole different kind of ballpark. I also have another thing. Buzz Aldrin, actually. He spoke that when he was on board Apollo 11, they saw something flying beside them. First, they thought it was the detached rocket, or the final stage of the detached rocket, and then when they reported that back, Mission Control said, no, that's impossible. It was actually 6,000 miles away from them at the time.
Damn.
So.
Have you heard about the satellite, the alien satellite?
No.
It's called the Black Knight. I'm going to show you a picture of it. I'll pull it up. It's apparently been going around. It's like in ancient paintings, the same exact like figure design. There's a few images of it. Let me see if I can find it right now. It's really interesting because apparently it's been orbiting Earth for hundreds of thousands of years. Apparently.
I do believe it because I did also look into ancient sightings.
Mm-hmm.
How way back when they put up pictures on the walls and engrave different things of aliens or alien-like creatures. That is.
Look at this shit.
Sure, that's just not a rock.
Does that look like a fucking rock to you?
It definitely looks strange. Can you zoom in?
Might be able to. Yeah. Take a look.
Man, that is interesting.
It is. If you want to see the picture we're looking at, we just went to the Wikipedia page of. Let me see the exact title of the page. This is called Black Knight Satellite Conspiracy.
Why do they have to put conspiracy?
I know. They're just like
Always
getting rid of it.
Like anything that could be far-fetched. Oh, no, that's conspiracy.
Yeah.
Or is it the government trying to hide things from us?
No, dude, the government tells you the truth 100% of the time. Did you know that?
Shut the fuck up, Collin.
Literally 100% of the time, they tell you 100% of the truth.
That's neither here nor there right now.
Yeah, so back to
Well, no, we all know the government is hiding some kind of alien. They have to know. If they do exist and they are in Area 51 and they are helping
of
us.
course, panic.
Really? Do you really think people would panic, though?
Not us.
I don't think the majority of people would panic. They'll go on the news and talk about North Korea with nukes, but, they won't throw out, oh, yeah, aliens exist. Yeah, we kind of figured much, and, the universe is a big place. There has to be someone out there other than us. I mean, that's kind of common sense, you think, right?
yes, going off that point, you said there has to be someone out there. There's someone close, according to a study that I've read. Someone very close. Close as one of Saturn's moons.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's not really exactly advanced life, but there are definite signs that there's not signs of life, but there's
Signs that it can
it could be.
sustain life.
Yeah, it could sustain life. Like microbiologist Dave Dave Rittman, blah, blah, blah. He did some experiments. And yeah, the study I'm looking at right now is called Alien Life Similar to That Found on Earth Could Thrive on One of Saturn's Moons.
I feel like we could get pictures of it though. Wouldn't the Humble tell or the?
No, the whole thing is, it's water, but the outer shell is frozen. It's like miles and miles of deep, just frozen fucking water. And at the bottom, near like some vents that are, hot because it's like it's a pretty big moon. There's hot vents, and that's where there's liquid water. And apparently some organisms can live without oxygen just with the methane that's coming out of the vent. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
It's not fucking driving a satellite though, but
No.
See, it's not it's a life form. It's just not any form of intelligent life form.
still alien.
It could make its way though, millions and millions and millions of years from now.
Maybe it has. We just can't see it because there's so much ice. Never know.
Dun dun dun.
Dan, you haven't said much. What do you got?
I don't know. I definitely believe it.
You're just agreeing.
For real though, I do. Like,
I got
believe
another
there's
thing.
plenty. There's so many of them that could inhabit life that we just haven't found yet.
I got a thing back in 1961. Guy by the name of Frank Drake. Why do people have two first names?
I don't know. I can't trust people that have two first
You
names.
can't trust people with two first names.
No, absolutely not.
Is the first one fake or the last one?
Yeah.
Or both of them?
Frank Drake. They're so close to each other too. Frank Drake.
Yeah, they are
Wow,
pretty close.
That would suck. But it was 1961. Guess different times. He actually pulled out numbers and whatnot and came up with an equation or fraction of how many planets were out there, and then how many of those planets could sustain intelligent life, not just life, but intelligent life.
Define.
Intelligent life?
Yeah.
Intelligent life would be like adapting to your like surroundings. So like having eyes. something
I'm
that
sure
has eyes.
most animals that are on our planet you could consider intelligent life.
Yes, absolutely.
Correct. I agree. All right. I know where we're going then.
Anyways, he estimated statistically hundreds of thousands of planets should technically exist that can support intelligent life. But I mean that's a big, big place, so we might never encounter any of those.
Mm-hmm.
So there'd be clusters of them, There could be like 10 planets all right next to each other that hold intelligent life.
That's funny that you bring that up because you said should. There should be like hundreds of thousands of planets that have life on them.
Yeah.
But there's this thing called the Fermi paradox. There should be all these things, but yet there's no evidence. There's not a single we never seen any like flares, no transmissions, nothing. So
Maybe we just
we
don't
alone?
have the technology to pick up on said evidence.
maybe.
Or maybe we're just so far away.
No.
Or
that
maybe
too,
we
Tanner, you're
have, and it just hasn't been released to people yet.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, the technology in order to find said evidence has not been created until the past, maybe 20 years? We now have the
No, probably
technology
70 at least.
When was the telescope sent out?
Telescope is fucking BC.
No, the Hubble telescope.
Oh, Hubble telescope. No, we sent out a thing called the Voyager, I think, Voyager 3.
Yeah, correct.
And it was a satellite that just went flying out into space with no like destination. It was just flying out, and it had like a map of our solar system and some other stuff on it. So if aliens found it, they would know where we were. But man, no one's picked up the call yet.
Supposedly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, supposedly, I guess.
I don't know. I know they're definitely hiding something from us.
You think so?
I feel like
They have to be.
they have to be out there, and I feel like there's been some kind of contact.
At least, at the very least.
But not, I mean, nowadays you can't tell what's real and what's not. You know, they could release stuff, or people could hear stuff from credible sources, and then it gets sent down the line. Well, now no one knows what to believe because no one knows where it truly came from. Anybody can make any shit up.
Yeah. All right. I got the last one for me today.
What's that?
That is going to be aliens. Wow, would you stop fucking kicking my table? God. Aliens. Did they build the pyramids?
I don't know.
Yeah, see, because if man were to make those, that would take a long time. Plus, it just does not add up. It does not add up.
I mean, I'm sure with enough people and enough slave labor that they had, it could be done.
Are you underestimating the Egyptians?
They
So
were
it's kind
pretty
of,
intelligent
I am,
too.
Kind of.
They actually used a lot of like different mechanics that they could create in order to help them. They had, cranes and shit. Just not
They're
the cranes
fucking
worth they build
perfect,
now.
though.
They're not perfect.
They're like,
Yeah, they're perfect.
they're perfect.
They're perfect. They're better than perfect. They're actually aligned with like some sort of star.
I feel like we could
thing.
not replicate it as good as it is.
We just don't have the willpower to.
There's actually, if you follow that, and this is actually really diving into the alien pyramid theory. There's that ring of latitude right where the wait, is it latitude or longitude? It's longitude, I believe. Longitude is sideways around the world. That way, that longitude, there's other sets of pyramids that are similar to those in China. I believe there's some in Indonesia. I'm not exactly sure where they are, but I know there's at least 2 other places that have crazy ass pyramids that should not have been built like by man. Which is, I don't know. On different places of the world back then, there's no communication. How the fuck do they know? I don't. Fuck.
Well, I mean, you have different like tribes and stuff, or different whatever you call the Egyptian, like whatever they have. I feel like it would have been communicated somehow.
But that
Down
far
the
away
line.
other side of the
world,
planet?
Yeah.
Well, no, just over time, they tell their kids about it, they tell their kids about it, and the story just keeps getting told on and on. I mean, it's
Maybe.
got to be pretty crazy even back then that some kind of alien life force would come down and build these things.
Yeah.
I feel like it wouldn't be told that the Egyptians built it and not the aliens built it, and then it was constantly told that way.
I don't know. I would say that it is pretty reasonable to think that aliens actually helped out building the pyramids. They could have. There's a chance.
If we're sitting here talking that they do exist and they have visited Earth, then yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You never know. I want to know, dude. I
wanna
really,
know, too.
I want to know.
I want to know about 9/11 as well.
I know. Why can't the government just release all the?
Trump has to do it, dude. Trump needs to release the fucking
No.
shit.
It won't happen.
So, I did some research on Google the other day, and I was looking for the most haunted houses in America. Well, I was looking in the world, but I didn't really care about that because a lot of them were in other countries. I just wanted the ones in, the States, of course. And one of the most, reportedly one of the most, haunted places is a place in Fall River, Massachusetts. This is the Lizzie Borden house. Have either of you heard the story about Lizzie Borden?
Have
No.
not.
James, that's a no from you?
Yeah.
Well, yeah or no?
That's a no for me.
All right. Well, Lizzie Borden lived with her father and no. Wait, is it her mother? Let me check. Boop. Yeah, lived with her mother and her stepfather. And also she had a maid. And what ended up happening one day is I guess she got pissed. So she went outside to the garage, picked up an axe, gave Dad a few whacks while he was sleeping on the couch. He's dead. Walks upstairs, gives stepmom a few whacks. She's dead. Walks into the other room, gives the maid a few whacks. She's dead. And then, so basically, there was a bunch of evidence, to get her convicted, and she ended up getting acquitted of the crime, so not found guilty.
What year was this?
Wow.
Let me check. This was a while ago. Looks like I don't have the year, but this killing happened probably in the 1920s. Oh shit. I'll look it up really quick.
I'm just curious. Keep going with
All
the
right.
story.
All right. Well, anyways, yeah. So basically, yeah, she committed the murder. She got away with the crime, basically, and now she is living like right down the street from the house where she killed the people, where she killed her parent or her mom, or no, her dad, stepmom, and the maid. So apparently, after she died, her spirit or whatever lingered around that property, and she's been cited in a few different photographs. She's a pretty big attraction. People say they hear her laughing in the hallways, stuff like that. So all I know is you probably couldn't pay me enough money to go into that house.
I would actually be interested. I feel like maybe we should take a trip, all of us, to go to some kind of
We're gonna
haunted
go
house.
be ghost hunters now.
Well, no.
Ghostbusters.
I mean, that would be an interesting trip, though. If we went and did it, shit, we
A
can.
trip where we go inside where nobody else does.
Definitely during the day.
No, we could do a podcast on there.
Ah,
How sweet would that be?
we'll just get robbed or mugged by the fine people that live downtown.
Is this downtown?
Probably not.
No, I'm sure there's haunted houses somewhere close to us that we could go visit.
Yeah, dude. Apparently, the mental asylum in Northville is haunted.
I've been in there.
I have
haunted?
not. Aren't they tearing that place down?
I thought they were.
I don't think that place is haunted at all. I've been there a couple times.
Really?
Really?
I mean, it'd still be cool if we did that. It'd be an interesting trip, that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't know though. Seems kind of spooky.
What were we just talking about? Not really believing in ghosts earlier. And
Yeah, it would still be spooky. Because you're
so you
thinking
do
it might be
believe in
spooky.
ghosts because obviously you're too much of a pussy to go into a
Oh
haunted
my
house.
god.
Ooh.
You're a little bitch, James.
Little bitch, bitch.
Little bitch.
So I think this is something that we're gonna have to do.
No, I don't think so. You guys can do it. Record. Let me know.
Wow, I'm telling you, I've already been there.
No, not the say. We actually go to like a supposedly haunted house, something with an actual cool story. It'd be cool. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
Realistically.
Undefined. That's the worst that could happen.
All right, I got one more.
Okay.
One more ghost story. This takes place. I actually have the year in this one. I have a couple years
All
in
right,
this one,
good,
actually.
good.
So there was this house in
What kind of
Germantown,
house?
Pennsylvania. It was a big ass house.
Big ass house.
Like
Alright.
it was sturdy as fuck. Like
mansion?
It was, yeah, it was a mansion for sure.
All right.
Built in 1767 in Germantown, Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, 1777 was the Civil War, and there was actually a little battle that went on the property. When everything was said and done, over 200 people were killed, 1,000 wounded on that property. And the battle was called, I'm trying to think. It was the Battle of Germantown, I believe. Anyways, recently, I don't have a year on this one, but a mass grave was found on the property. 120 people, at least, are inside the mass grave on the property.
What was the grave from the Civil War?
Yeah. So that's apparently pretty haunted. People say they hear, people screaming. They hear people walking around. No one's there. Doors slammed shut. I mean, doors slammed shut, that's kind of just like a meme. But still.
Can they not
But
record
still.
these things? Like,
I'm sure if I Google, like, the Chew House right now, I'll see if there's any pictures from it. But,
I mean, you'd have to
yeah, I know.
get a credible source of someone that actually recorded it, which is hard to do because, I mean, now everyone will just record shit and make shit up just to get views on a TV show.
Right.
Most of the crap is probably pretty fake.
Well, it looks like some paranormal investigators were there at the Chew House.
Paranormal investigators.
Yeah.
People get paid to do that.
Yeah, of course, it's a TV show.
Oh, then it's probably not real.
No, you're right. It's probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see it to believe that.
Yeah.
I could believe aliens without seeing it because
Oh, I completely just remembered one more fucking alien story that I had. First-hand account.
firsthand. Okay, what do we got?
First-hand account. This was very confusing, and when I'm gonna tell you the story, it's gonna sound like it's just stupid, but I don't know. I still have no idea what the fuck happened. So, anyways, it was, I'd say probably late September one year. I was at a football game that night, Southline High School football game, driving home on my bike with a couple of the neighborhood boys. You might have been there. I don't think you were there. I'm pretty sure Devin was there.
I don't know. I know I went to a couple games with you, but I feel like I would have remembered if there was some kind of.
Go on.
All right. So, we're riding through the sub. We're just, just dicking around, riding through the sub. All of a sudden, it wasn't really all of a sudden. It was just this light. It wasn't super bright, but it was definitely a light. And it seemed kind of big. It also seemed really, really close. It had to be probably maybe 50 feet above. Just came in. From my distance, it probably looked no bigger than like a dime if you held it out that far. So not very big, but still. And this thing just was there, gave off a little bit of light, and just fucking. It seemed like it flew straight at us, but it flew over us. There was no sound. At first, when I saw it, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And no, I didn't say anything actually when I first saw it. So just sitting there, riding the bikes. About like 30 seconds after it, I was like, "Did anyone else just see that?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, what was that?" So everyone else did see it.
Are you sure you weren't just baked out of your mind?
No, this was before I started smoking weed. This is like
Incredible story here.
this is 9th grade. This was before I started smoking weed for sure.
No, so everybody said they saw that. Like when you said
Yes,
that,
I'm pretty
when
sure.
you
Yeah.
said that, did they all like simultaneously go like, yeah? Or
No,
did
only one.
one person say it, and then another person was like, yeah.
Only one did, but it wasn't my brother, and I've talked to my brother after that, and I was like, you know this thing?
Yeah.
Do you remember this? And he's like, yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
So I don't think I fucking saw it
I don't either.
or made it up, but I don't know. It was really weird.
It could have been a million different things. In all honesty.
I know it could have, but dude, I don't think I described it exactly perfectly, but I can't explain what it was.
We're not all storytellers here, so.
Was it like a fucking spotlight?
No, it was giving off light. It wasn't like a fucking spotlight on a cloud. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
So did you see like light on the ground around you?
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
it was not that bright. But it definitely was. It was like a star, except for it was a lot. It would have been a big star.
But it was like close.
Yeah, small. It looked like it was smaller than the moon, like from your perspective,
Yeah.
but it was way closer. Because it freaking moved across. Like, whoosh. That's fucked.
Yeah, I don't know, Colin. I don't know about that one.
I don't know either, man. I
What?
don't know either.
It wasn't like a meteor.
No.
Just keep going.
It didn't make any
stayed
noise.
There.
Plus, it was
It
stopped.
stayed there for a while.
Yeah.
And then just said bye.
Yeah. I don't know. It was weird.
Huh.
Well, anyways. Does anyone have anything else?
No, pretty much it.
Well, then, if that's it, why don't we end the podcast right now?
Yeah, Colin, play us out.
All right. Thanks for listening. As always, this is Simply Uncensored. Tanner,
Peace out, boys.
James.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. I don't know what topic we got going on, but we'll figure out something good.
And I'm Collin. Thanks for listening. It's always been a pleasure. Have a great day, I guess.
Colin, did you have an idea for next week?
Yeah, I did.
What's the idea?
I was thinking something like debating cars.
Cars?
Yeah,
I could definitely get behind cars.
that's what I'm thinking. I like cars.
All right, yeah, all right. So as of right now, next week we might do cars.
All right. See you then. Thanks.